Hey guys, before you listen to today's episode, there's a few things you can do to actually help our channel grow and expand. The first thing you can do is subscribe. You click the subscribe button and the bell next to it so that you get notifications whenever we release new episodes.
And be sure to like our videos because that helps other people find our videos and helps our channel grow.
And the last thing you can do is comment. You saw something or listened to something on the video you enjoyed, comment. We read the comments and we respond.
And if there's anything you want to hear, add it to the comments and maybe it'll be on our next episode.
With that being said, enjoy today's episode. Hey guys, welcome back to the 504 Podcast. I'm your host, Mark, here with my co-host, Erica. Did you want to say it, Erica? Go ahead, say it.
And Erica.
Erica's here. Just in case you were wondering if she was here, she's here. How are you, Erica?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. A little corona fatigued. It's like
Exactly.
you want to get out, but at the same time, you're afraid to maybe go to some places.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want to be the cause of,
Yeah,
corona comes
stay
back.
home and save a life.
Yeah.
we'll get into that propaganda. But with that being said, let's start our top three. And this week, we're going to be discussing the top three podcasts we actually listen to. And for myself, I was listening to podcasts before I decided maybe I should create one. And I thought Erica would be a great person to join me on this little ride. And decided, let's do it. So, Erica, you start.
But you did introduce me to one of your podcasts, and that kind of inspired me to jump on this ride with you. So, my one of my number one podcasts is Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered. And it's like a true crime / self-help podcast.
How can true crime self-help you? Does it self-help you to commit true crimes?
Because the women who run the podcast, the hosts, they initially got together talking about true crime stuff. They're into like all the murders and unsolved mysteries and whatnot. And then they started talking about their personal lives, and they realized that they were friends forever. And they realized that in talking about their personal lives, they were actually helping other people. Like they went through a few things in their lives that, helped other people. They came out of it. So it's kind of cool. And they somehow link some sort of trial and tribulation to a unsolved crime or a true crime, something that happened.
That's unique. That's really unique.
It's a really cool podcast. They're funny. They're comedians, sort of. So I read their book, and it's pretty cool. I don't know. I liked it.
All right. My first podcast is the Joe Budden podcast.
That's it.
That's the podcast that I listen to on a daily basis. I actually, and crazy enough, I used to listen to it like the moment the episodes were released, and then I would hate to have to wait for the new episode to come out. So what I did was, for an entire month, I just didn't listen. So that way, I could just always have a new episode to listen to whenever I jumped back on. I don't listen to them daily anymore. It's more of I guess you could say daily. I don't listen to the entire episode when I get on. I'll listen to like 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here. So that way it's always content to talk about. Well,
Now,
content to listen to, I should say.
He's also on YouTube, right?
Yes.
So you get to watch his episodes. He's live all the time.
This may sound weird, but I don't like looking at his face.
I know. I love hearing his voice.
I enjoy listening to them. I don't want to look at them.
He's got one of those nice voices.
Okay, I can't really, It's better than my voice, but I'm not gonna say his voice is nice.
Joe Budden. Yeah, he's got a good thing going there.
He does. He has a couple shows actually, but we're not promoting him right now.
But if he's listening, he can like and subscribe and comment.
From what I hear on his show, he's not listening to any of this.
We'll be tagging him. I'm going to tag my girls. My other one is Doing Divorce Right. And It's actually she's kind of helped me out a little bit on the side with podcasting tips and whatnot, and writing, because she was one of the authors. She was a blogger. She started as a blogger, and I found this writers group online where this lady started a blog called Suburban Misfit Moms, and she was looking for contributors. So I contributed a few articles, a few pieces, and so did this other woman. And so I started following her on Facebook, and she had written a little self-help book on how to get divorced right. Basically, the book is called "How to Get Divorced and Hold the Bullshit" or something like that. So she wrote.
I'm still playing with the sound machine.
So in writing her book, she wrote a second book on, how to not get divorced and stay married if you can. And she started a podcast where she became like this coach, this divorce coach. And she became certified, and so she kind of grew. So it's kind of cool. Her episodes are good. She has guests on, and she talks about, everyday life. And it doesn't always have to be about divorce and marriage, but just relationships. And she's pretty funny.
I'm not gonna lie, that divorce word is scary.
Yeah.
That is a scary word. It was so scary that at one point the HBO show Divorce.
Oh, I couldn't watch that.
I couldn't watch it either. I couldn't watch it. I'm like this. No, can't do it. My second podcast is a political podcast. It's the Ben Shapiro podcast.
Yes. Tell me about that.
I've spoken about him before. Speaks really fast. But he really gives some real objective opinions, and I listen to it primarily because sometimes you don't really want the opinion that's popular or the opinion that you're going to hear from someone in your area or in your circle, I should say. You want an opinion from someone who has a completely different perspective, because I think when two perspectives meet, and you can have constructive conversation, that's when change happens, as opposed to I have a difference of opinion and now you're stupid because you don't think the way I think.
So he's open to other people's thoughts.
Not sure if he's open to other people's thoughts, but I'll give you an example. He I believe he's Republican and he's very conservative. I guess I would say I'm not really on the conservative side with everything, but there are some conservative points that do make sense. And what he'll do is he'll call out when conservatives are wrong and when he thought they did a bad job. He'll also call out certain things that conservatives did right and people are blasting them for because the news reported it incorrectly or all the facts weren't out there. It gives me more of a perspective than just listening to Charlemagne the God and T.I.
Yeah. I've not listened to. I've listened to clips of his podcast, but not in its entirety.
The best thing you can do if you want to figure out if it's something you want to listen to him debate college kids.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's that's how I got into him. I found a couple of his debates, and as I started liking them, speaking of liking the algorithm on YouTube, as I liked more videos, they started giving me more videos of him debating college kids.
Oh, okay, I have to look that one up. So Ben Shapiro, be sure to like and subscribe. My other podcast is Serial, and
is it about Lucky Charms, Frosted Flakes?
No, it begins with F. It's an investigative journalism podcast, and they do a lot of unsolved crimes, true crimes. They go back to cold case stories and talk about that, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. I like true crime stuff. I think I have a little trend here.
That's really trendy, actually. The true crimes or the murder mysteries, anything with crime. I think at our root, if we can get away with stuff as people, we probably will try to get away with more stuff. I've thought of how to steal things very frequently in my life. And then I have to talk myself out of it and go, no, it's not worth it.
It's
But
not
just the
worth it.
idea of getting away with some things, it's like, ooh, if I could, I would. And you go, nah, no, it's not worth it.
But some of these crimes they talk about are like, they're cold case crimes that are, dead in the water for 20 something years. And
we still haven't found John Benet Ramsey's killer.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know, her mom is dead now. I don't think the father.
They were
I know, I
pushing.
think the father died too.
They were pushing John Benet Ramsey down my throat as a childhood, like when I was a child.
Well, that's just, you see, this is what they talk about. They'll just talk about like all the things that happened in that within those hours and on these episodes, and discuss in detail like how does that even happen? How does somebody get killed in your home and you don't even know? So that's fascinating to me.
And my last podcast is a sports podcast. Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd.
He's just really objective. He gives his opinions. He doesn't back down. He doubles down. And he has a really cool segment on his sports podcast every Monday when he's wrong. So throughout the week, he'll talk about different things. And if he's wrong about something on Monday, he'll say, hey, I was wrong about this one. I messed this one up.
How does he know he's wrong?
Because he's wrong. Well, sorry. He talks about it the next Monday. So on that Monday, he talks about the things he was previously wrong about.
Because he did research or somebody called him out on it?
No, just because like something might have played out. If he would have said, "Hey, I think the Bulls are like not good enough to beat the Cavaliers or something like that," and then the Bulls like spanked the Cavaliers, or you know what I mean, and then he goes, "I was wrong. I whiffed on that one."
Okay, that's pretty cool.
He does it. I like listening to him more around football time. I don't particularly care so much about the basketball or baseball or hockey or soccer.
You're a football fan.
Yeah, I enjoy football. I don't sit around and watch it as much as I used to, but I still enjoy watching football.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Hey, did you know that I'm registering to be a DoorDash or Uber driver?
No way.
Yeah, I'm starting the process. I figure, hey, if people are still afraid to be in their house and I'm currently on summer vacation, let me deliver some food real quick.
That's nice.
My goal is to
try. Be interesting.
My goal is to try to make like $100 a day.
You should keep a list of what people order, the most interesting foods.
I don't know if it tells me what they order. I think you just kind of just go to the restaurant and say,
"Oh yeah,
I'm here to pick up John's order," and then they say, "Here's John's order," and that's it. But the goal is not to really interact with people, and I never thought about doing this until we actually started using it in the house. When this whole thing happened and the restaurants weren't allowing people in, we started, getting food delivered to us, and I said, "Look at Keisha out there." Dropping off my my beef lo mein. I can do that better than Keisha.
Waving from like the middle of the street.
No, they don't wave. The phone gives you the alerts for everything. So it's literally, hey, Keisha's walking up the stairs now. Give her a second.
Yeah, no, I know. And then I open the door and I wave and say thank you.
Oh, no, I wait for them to leave.
No, I make sure that they know I thank them.
Yeah, I thank them in the tip. How much do you tip your DoorDash or Uber driver?
I don't know. I don't usually use a percentage. I guess it depends on how much I ordered. And, if they got there quickly. So I don't know. What is the standard tip?
I don't know. Listen, when I grew up on 87 Fulton, that Chinese driver never got a tip. And then as I started getting older, it was like $1. And then now, I guess like when the Uber drivers come, depending on how far they have to drive to me, I'll usually do like $3, $4.
Oh, okay. Well, I used to tip like, if I ordered food and I would give him like $2. My father was like, "What are you, nuts?" He's like, that's not enough. I'm like, wait a minute. But now most places they charge a delivery fee. Does that go through the driver?
I do not know. Once I'm registered, I'll figure it out. Cause that Uber delivery fee the other day was like, well, no, the delivery fee was different. There was a service fee as well that I
Yeah.
saw. It was like $8. I said, but
So can people change their tip after you leave?
yeah, you can change the tip. So
Oh,
if you left like three and then the person was like really nice and they got there faster than you expected, you get the opportunity to change your tip. I'm not sure how it works on DoorDash because my wife normally orders through DoorDash, but I did with Uber Eats and you can change the tip.
so now, do you think, like, I think this happened with Instacart, like, you put your order in, you have to add the tip, and a lot of people were, like, adding, like, a ridiculous amount of money for a tip. So does that, I guess, then that intrigues the people to, like, fight for that specific order because it's a high tip. And then the people, after the order was delivered, people would change the tip.
Oh, that's not nice.
Yeah, I forget where I was reading it, but I was wondering if that's what drives, those people to take that particular order.
I don't know. I think they get like bonuses if they just keep delivering orders. So I'm not sure. I'll know more once once I start delivering. If I start
Okay.
delivering.
Yeah, cool. I know somebody who did it for, no, never mind. She was a Lyft driver.
Yeah, I
Something
don't want
different.
anybody in my car. Erica, you brought up a really good topic this week, and I'm excited to discuss it.
And what is that?
About friends.
His or her?
Yeah.
His or her friends?
Yeah,
Okay.
why don't you explain it to the people listening so they know where we're going once we start this conversation?
So whether you're married or in a relationship, whatever, you come into that relationship with your own group of friends, and then those friends now become part of your relationship. Um, so I guess what I was wanting to know was, where is that line drawn? Is it a gray area where now you've been with your partner for X amount of years, and now you've combined your friends? Where's the line drawn? Where how much can you trust those friends of your partners? Do you start opening up? Like, so for me, it would be like, all right, so my boyfriend's friends' wives. Obviously, I'm going to talk to them more than the guys. How much do I share? What do I tell them? What do I ask? What do I do?
You have to always assume pillow talk is a thing. So anything that you wouldn't want to get back to the other person, you just can't do it. I've always been the person that I limit how much I interact with people because I
Mm-hmm.
don't really want new friends. If I want new friends, the new friends have to be because they're my friends. So
Yeah.
for example, like if my wife has like a friend or something like that, like I'm very, courteous and I'm my regular self, but I'm not really reaching out to that
But
person.
if, but so now, like, okay, so I'm basing it off people where I live. Like, so the guys, the husbands, spouses, whatever, boyfriends, they all get together. They'll do like a guys' night. And actually, my friend and I were talking about this last night, and we're like, I'm sure the husbands don't go around talking about their wives like we do about them when we're
You would be
together,
surprised. You'd be surprised.
So like now these group of guys, they're friends of friends of friends through the relationships that they have. So where's that line drawn? Like how much you share of yourself, of your relationship, and what happens when the relationship goes south, and you're no longer together, or you go through a nasty divorce.
I think it all depends on the person and on the friend because you have some friends that even though they're in the circle, you don't particularly care for that friend, and then there are other friends that you kind of gravitate more towards. I think at a certain point you have to either become friends or otherwise you're trapped in that we're just in the circle of friends. Like I'm only your friend because of this person. Because once you remove that person from the link, that person also dissipates also. So if you are going to develop a friendship with them, it needs to be via something separate than the person that introduced you.
Yeah. Or like, what if your husband or partner or wife says, oh, why don't you call so and so and go hang out with them and do something with them? And you're just like, no, because that's your friend's husband or wife, and that's just weird.
Like,
I don't know.
like for me, like my wife has a friend named Stephanie, and Stephanie is clearly my wife's friend, but she
Okay.
also never takes sides. So like when we would go through something, like I knew that if I told Stephanie something, she wouldn't go back and tell my wife. It would stay with her. And even though she's
Oh,
technically my wife's friend, I can look at her as someone that I can talk to. And if my wife and I ever decide to go our separate ways, she and I would maybe not be like the closest of friends, we're not the closest of friends now, but we would still remain friendly, meaning I don't need my wife to be friends with her.
but wouldn't your wife, like, wouldn't she see that as like a loyalty thing?
I mean, people vary on how they look at like the loyalty thing. Like, I would never tell someone to not be someone else's friend. Like, if y'all are
Yeah.
cool and y'all mesh like that, that's fine. If I don't want the person around me, then cool. Just I don't want the person around me. But as far as like loyalty, it all depends on that friend. If you think that the person's going behind you and telling the other person stuff, then yeah, you might have issues with that. But if it's someone that
Yeah.
like they hold stuff with them, then I don't really have that issue.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, I'd like to hear what our listeners want to comment about that one, what they think as well.
But I'm never an
That
advocate
could be a whole
of
podcast.
of false friends. Like, we're friends because I date this person, and then once that person leaves, it's like, all right, well, thanks for hanging out, I guess.
Well, I've lost friends in my separation. So I don't know if I reach out to any of them, but they definitely, not that they took sides, but they were clearly his friends.
And that
Even
happens.
though I've known them for many many years, but I don't know.
I mean, sometimes they just pick the person they like more, and there's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that.
I
You just
guess.
kind of just look at it and go, all
And that's
right,
fine.
cool.
I'm fine with that. I'm just wondering, like, my thing was more along the lines of, like, I guess from a woman's point of view, you're dating somebody, or your husband's friend's wife, like, go be friends with them, go do stuff with them, go out shopping, call them, and you're just like, I don't know, they're not my friend, you know?
Well, yeah, and then also the word friend is what we have to really put into perspective, because being cool with someone and being casual or being in social circumstances doesn't necessarily make them a friend. So
Exactly.
if we spoke today, cool, and if we never speak again, cool.
Yeah.
But considering someone a friend, like my idea of a friend is someone that I can confide in, and we don't necessarily
Yeah.
have to speak every day, but like the moment we speak, it's like we just kick like it was just yesterday. So for
Hmm.
some people require you to be like constantly there, and then once you're not there, it's like, or something changes, it's we're just not the same anymore. And
Yeah.
one of those things is a breakup, and something changed, so it's like maybe I should stay away. And then sometimes people just need to know, even though the breakup happened, we're still cool. I think
Yeah.
sometimes people just don't know whether
Yeah.
they should reach out or not.
And I think subconsciously we categorize a lot of, or compartmentalize the people in our life.
Yeah, that's
So,
true also,
yeah,
because depending on what I may be going through determines who I might want to speak to about it.
yeah, exactly.
Because all friends aren't adept to handle the different things in your particular life. So if I want to talk about marriage things, there's somebody I can speak to. If I want to talk about just, regular smegular stuff, someone I speak to. If it's something particularly bothering me, there's somebody I speak to. And
Yeah,
I used to
yeah,
just put it all in one category, but I guess as I got older, I just put it into different categories.
yeah, exactly. I think as we get older, just we tend to name things differently. I don't know.
funny fact. I was a friend of a friend, and that person went through like a breakup,
Hmm.
and and that person they broke up with just blocked me on everything, and I'm like, I thought we were cool.
Yeah, I had that happen, and I was just like, well, I didn't do anything to you. You blocked me, but I get they wanted to do that because they probably figure I'm going to go back and tell their sister-in-law that what they're doing, and but I'm not like that, so whatever. I don't care.
I mean, just sometimes you just really don't care. Just and I'll end it on this. Sometimes just knowing that we're gonna develop a friendship, you kind of treat it differently as opposed to you're around because of this person, and then you kind of treat
Yeah.
that differently as well. And you just have to
Hmm.
just kind of just really just know the difference between whether this person is my friend or whether this person is just around.
Exactly. That's good. So we'd love to hear your comments, listeners.
All right. And we're going to wrap this episode up. Make sure you guys like and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you get these notifications by clicking the bell and make sure you leave comments just like Erica said. Erica, let's finish on a this or that. Stores are opening up now.
Yes.
You have 20 minutes to get home before you have to cook dinner. You're riding down the highway. What highway's next to you? What's that highway you always say is a parking lot?
Route 3.
Route 3. And on Route 3, you got the option TJ Maxx or Marshalls. 20 minutes. Which one?
TJ Maxx.
Really?
TJ Maxx, yes.
Why?
I don't know. I just like I guess they have the same sort of clothes, but I feel like have a little bit of everything. I mean, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's hard to really differentiate it. But I just get the different. I don't know. I like TJ Maxx better. I think the setup is different and it's easily shoppable. Is that a word? Um, but I prefer TJ Maxx over Marshalls.
I'm
I think
gonna.
Marshalls like gone through is a mess.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I'm gonna have to go with Marshalls, and
Okay,
strictly for one reason.
what's
TJ Maxx
that?
doesn't have men's shoes. Marshalls does.
No, they don't. That's true.
Marshalls has men's shoes, so I can go there. And even I've maybe purchased shoes from TJ. I'm from Marshalls maybe twice. But
Hmm.
just having the luxury of just walking over and just saying, "Ooh, okay, let me see how much they want for the generic Nikes.
And
$75? Nope, not getting them."
I don't even think they have a big. TJ Maxx doesn't even have a big men's section. It's weird.
It gives me options because even if I go there, I can also get shoes for my kids and for my son Braden.
That's true. And I think TJ Maxx has like a jewelry counter section, and Marshalls does not.
Uh, that may be true. Somebody in the comments let us
Yeah,
know. Someone who
yeah,
frequents them. I call TJ Maxx and Marshalls like the crackhead stores. Like whenever you see one, you just have to go in. It
yeah. I'm a
doesn't matter
TJ
if
Maxx
it's
fan.
this one or the one in the town over. They're all different.
Yeah,
You can't even shop
TJ Maxx.
online with them.
I do like TJ Maxx, and you like your Marshalls.
I mean, I go to TJ Maxx also, but I'm just saying. You know what doesn't get? You know what gets a lot of love, and I didn't realize it until I moved over here. Burlington Coat Factory is always packed.
Oh,
They're
see, I have one
always
by me.
packed.
I have one by me, and it's terrible. Terrible. I couldn't wait for it to open, and it's just I'm not bought anything there. I've gone in and disappointed.
It's like all of you want coats. It's 90 degrees outside. Why is it so? Why is it so packed in here? Where you getting these coats from?
Yeah, but it's more than coats.
I know it's more than coats. I'm just saying when they say Burlington Coat Factory, I'm thinking it's just coats.
Yeah, I definitely think it's on the lower part of the scale when it comes to Burlington, Marshalls, TJ Maxx.
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
think
I
it's at the
think
bottom.
I think TJ Maxx and Marshalls are like more of a trendy name. Burlington Coat
Yeah.
Factory. Whenever I walk past Burlington Coat Factory, there's a guy there with a pistol, like the guy from Titanic, trying to get the line in order. He's like, get back, or I'll shoot you
I
all
don't
like dogs."
I don't know what the hype is. I don't. The one by me is just not. It's just not an organized store. Maybe that's what. Maybe I need organized stores to walk into. I don't know.
Well, the Marshalls on 440 is never organized.
No, it's not. I've not been in a Marshalls yet that was put together. So I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, that ends this episode. Round of applause. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.